Alright, good evening. Tonight's menu is green garlic shrimp and pasta. Well, the reason I call it green is because we're going to try to put as many green ingredients on there. Okay. So I bought this new serving tray that's going to help out when it comes to serving any food that you make in the griddle. And I'm going to show you at the end of the video. It's the coolest thing I have ever bought, other than this griddle. Okay, so we're going to put it in medium heat. Medium heat here, low heat here. Start cooking the shrimp. Like I always do, just make sure you spread out the shrimp so each shrimp is at least touching the griddle. No need to stack them up or anything. They should all be touching the griddle. One side. And I got a broccoli, green. I have garlic right here. Just mixing it with the shrimp. And when it comes to cooking with pasta or vegetables, you want to have water standing by. You want to create a steam form so they don't get too fried, they stay moist. By just adding water to it, it's pretty simple. And not cooking it at such a high heat. I try to keep it like medium low. Constantly wet it. on this side, I'm going to cook the pasta. When cooking up pasta on the griddle, have your water standing by. So you got to constantly water it just to keep it moist. You don't want it to hard to make it look like you're frying it. Okay? That's the key, it's water. It's all about the water. Turn that down a little bit. Put water on there. Keep the broccoli moist. Alright, so we're going to cook pasta. What I did with this pasta is I boiled it for about 5 or 10 minutes in the stove. Boiled it with water, then I drained it, and I'm ready to cook it. Okay? So to keep it from burning, one, you cook it in a low temperature, okay? And of course you want to give it some oil, right, so it doesn't stick. Okay. Do that. Okay. Then you give it water. Look at that. It's already spreading, it's starting to get moist. There you go. Okay. Look at that. See, it was hard at first after I drained it. Right? So, when you do that, you put green spinach with it. It in there. Okay. The spinach, it's just gonna shrivel up and go with the noodles. Okay. You got your green broccoli, green spinach, and then we're going to add the green onions. Okay. You have these spinach, they're starting to shrivel up and going to go with the noodles. They kind of form with the noodles. spinach, they're starting to shrink and shrivel up, which is a good thing. Remember the pile that used to be like that? Now it's starting to conform with the noodles. All right, whenever you're cooking it and you feel the noodles hardening up, just soften it up by just adding water to it. Same thing with vegetables. Don't be afraid to add water to it. It'll soften it up. Especially when it comes to broccoli. Especially if you like your broccoli soft. Okay. So you got shrimp and garlic here. You have broccoli. You have your pasta. Right? You have your pasta. And your spinach. Then at the last minute, you're gonna add the green onions. Gonna add it right there. The thing with green onions, it really doesn't need any like cooking time. You could actually serve it as is. See it? You got green broccoli, green spinach, green onions. So we're almost done. What I like to do, like I always do, what I like to do is I like to put all the seasoning towards the end. That way it's on the top layer of the food. Okay, that was pepper. Try not to put that much because if the kids want more, they can always add more. You know? Then a little bit of garlic salt. Right. I don't need to put garlic salt on the shrimp because it's already got garlic mixed with it. The actual garlic. This. So what I did is I turned it off because it's done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly mix it together. Put the broccoli in there. Mix it with it. I'm going to scoot it over here. Mix it with the shrimp. So the griddle is off. Okay, so it's basically done. Okay. But what I'm going to show you now is this tray that I just bought. It's the coolest thing ever. So I've been looking at some serving trays, and finally I came across this one that I found at grocery outlet. Okay, what makes this tray so good? One, it's coarse, it's metal. Two, it's got a grating. Look at it. Let me show you. It's got gratings in there. So when you're cooking with griddle, you know you're using a lot of oil, right? And no matter how healthy of an oil you're using, like here I'm using extra virgin olive oil. Oil is oil. You know, it's going to be unhealthy for you if you take a lot of it. But because this thing has grating and it has a pan below it, right? So you could serve your food there, and while you're setting up the table, the oil is actually dripping down below in the lower pan. So by the time you serve it on a plate, the oil, the excess oil that's on your food has already been drained off. So that's why I thought this was the coolest tray. It's I got it in grocery outlet for $9.99, so it's like $10 plus tax. So let me put the food in the tray and I'll show you. There you go. That is my new serving tray. And so while it's sitting there, waiting to be served on a plate, right? Because I still got to set up the table. It's draining the excess oil that, you know, I don't really need to be consuming, but I actually needed the oil to cook. So, hey, thanks again for joining. Okay. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll try to be as creative as possible. And good luck. Thank you for joining. Have a good night.